From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Captain's Log Supplemental.
Miss Vicki.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
What?
I've been thinking about this Sentinel system.
Yeah. Tell me about the Sentinel system.
So what I was thinking was, we have the one car that's got the aim dash that's slowing us down. Because installing the aim dash is actually, it probably is easy, but it's quite hard the first time. And we haven't figured that out yet. The Sentinel system is really easy to set up. So what I was thinking was, why don't we put it in the Lemons car? And we'll worry about the aim data information separately. And we'll kind of break it down into a project. Because then we'd have the motorsports video system that we really, really want, and we'd be able to stream it. We just won't have the data inside, but we have the data outside, so we can combine them later. But I think that's a really good solution.
So what does this Sentinel system do?
Well, if it had the aim data, it would have all the data on the screen, and you could see all their telemetry and everything live. But we'd be able to not only record it for viewing after the race, but we could actually watch our car during the race.
Ooh, like on the monitor and everything?
On a monitor, if you were at home and I was at a track, or if you were at the track and I was at home, depends on who gets the little short straw, but we'd be able to watch each other.
It's something I've always wanted to do.
And you know what? If you're driving, you know what you can do on the Sentinel system?
What's that?
You can communicate to me with your hands, and I can't do a thing about it.
Even better.
So, if you need to give a wave or a Jersey wave, whatever you need, we could save it and see it on the screen. And then you can have up to 3 different cameras, and it'll have picture in picture. You'll have the basic main shot out the front window, and then 2 cameras where you put them wherever you want. One could be on the driver, or one could be on the rear view. It's kind of cool.
Then we can upload it onto YouTube.
We could bore millions of people on YouTube.
I love it.
All right. Very well. You know what the only downside I see about this?
What?
Your mom and my mom are going to be panic-stricken the entire weekend watching this thing to see if everything's going well.
This is true.
We probably shouldn't tell them.
I like the idea of having a Sentinel.
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily we have maybe 2. Depends on how things go. We're going to try. All right. That sounds like a plan. That's the project. We got to get that ready for the next race.
Sounds great.
All right. Very well. Thank you, ma'am. Nope, you're still on mute. Nope. There you are.
I got a new phone.
I can tell. It should work the same. Where are you?
I'm at my robotics meeting.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, these are all my robotics kids.
They look like real kids. They don't look like robots at all.
Don't look like robots at all.
What's the pen? No, it's the pen.
This is our robot under the table.
Wow.
And that's the playing field it's going to do stuff on.
Wow. What are you playing? Ring toss?
Actually, that was one of the years.
That really was actually one of the years.
I think it was so hard. Yeah.
So could you hear somebody talking when I wasn't talking?
I could.
Okay.
What was that?
I was trying to get something set up for another podcast that I have coming.
Oh.
And I wanted to see if I could play a video and have everybody hear it. Here comes Miss Vicki.
You can do like folding mechanisms. You could do a
Miss Vicki.
Jennifer.
Hi, how are you?
with you?
Go find a corner. It's a yeah, we're doing a podcast. Where's Vicki? Oh, I don't have it. Hold on, I got a new phone.
Ah,
Oh, how do I put you on a gallery?
Slide the window to the left or the right. I don't remember which one.
There you are.
There we go.
You all are.
hi,
Oh.
Jen.
Hey, how are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, now I can ask one of these questions we've been saving for Jen and Vicki, so that'll be fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm not even giving you a choice.
Well, let's do it first.
We are. Okay, you're going to have to think about it. Both of you. What have you learned since we started dominating with Dawson?
Hmm.
Any ahas? Doesn't have to be specifically a Dawson one, but
I say one of my biggest one was
burning pot.
okay. All right.
There you go. All right.
That's a really good question because
I
there's so
know.
many things.
That's why I gave it to you early. I didn't want to hit you with the so much or I don't know.
Let me back.
How about that?
I haven't done one for so long.
I know. We've been waiting. I've got a bunch of them here waiting for you
Been a
and
while.
Vicki at the same time. If you've heard the past 4 or 5, we've been unshepherded, so you guys are getting called out, you know.
Okay. Hey. Do the arc length of x squared plus y squared equals. Oh, shot.
I like the one where we talked about front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. That was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pertinent.
It was. I think you even got to apply it.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
I don't know where I learned it, and I don't know if it was through a dominating Dawson or not, but it was directing the car with the front, but also steering with the back with your gas pedal.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Your gas pedal steers the rear.
Could
Or
be.
at least that's in the rear rod drive.
Rah, 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 rah.
Rah, 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 rah. Right?
Oh my god.
Very well.
Did you order the part yesterday or today?
50-50 on whether Jeremy's going to get here.
I ordered the second ones that were sent yesterday. Or yeah, and then the other ones because you sent me 2 times.
2 times. 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you what I did.
These ones here?
Oh yeah, so they were ordered yesterday, and then the other ones were
Ordered like 7 days ago.
yeah. So these should be coming really soon.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know if the other ones will be here, but
Okay, because these ones we kind of need for Saturday, so hopefully they come by Friday.
oh,
I mean, we can survive without.
are you gonna make it work, Noah? You gotta make it work.
It's amazing your robotics team is able to make those kids look so real.
I know. They're amazing.
I mean, if it wasn't
here to be able to do that.
If I didn't know, I would think they were real kids. It's amazing.
Look at them go. first competition is our first tournament is on Sunday.
Oh.
Pressure is on.
I could say so.
Where's Dawson?
Well, he said he was 10 minutes away about 10 minutes ago.
He's always 10 minutes away.
I know. See if Jeremy got home from work yet.
Vic, I'll show you my boys. There's my Jacob.
I know that one. It looks like half of him.
This is Wiley.
Hi, Wiley.
Wiley, turn around. Show him your hair.
Hair? Oh.
Oh, wow. Look at all that.
Look at all that.
Hasn't been
Look at
cut
this.
in
This is
3
how many years now?
3 years.
3
and a half.
years.
Ah,
That's a cancer donation happen in the
This
happening
is our field.
Hello field.
It's very big. This is
Ben
this is
Ben
our
says
robot here.
he's sick, so we're not going to do a long one tonight.
Huh?
Ben says he's sick, so we're not going to do a long one tonight.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Bluetooth, right? So I gotta connect it now.
This is it. Can you see it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have to do?
What is the theme this year?
They have to like pick up these cups and like put them on these things. And there's other stuff. But yeah. Yeah.
And what is the theme this year?
What is the theme this year?
Why is it so hypersensitive? Power play?
Power play, soul sucking, 2022.
Oh, soul sucking? We can do soul sucking. We know all about that.
That's the theme.
Hey, I'm going to lodge a protest. By the way,
Yeah.
I am protesting this Lego Robotics League because we did not have our traditional meet at Korean and discuss.
We didn't have our traditional what?
Meet at the Korean restaurant and discuss what we're doing.
Oh.
So I'm
Yeah.
filing a protest, and I want this remedied ASAP.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't been to the Korean restaurant. It's been a long time.
Well, that's also something that needs to be fixed.
That needs to be fixed.
The size of Alan.
A little bit. That's about 1 inch. So I just gotta plug.
How you doing, Miss Jen?
All right. You know,
Is what it is.
is what it is. I am.
Is there anything we can do?
No, there's nothing really.
I'm from Jersey. There's stuff we can do. I know guys. I know people.
You know, people.
I know
I know
people.
people.
I know people.
I'm fine. Now, where'd Vicki go?
I think she went to go let Zoe out and then disappeared.
It's like 4 Oreos and makes it crack. No. I don't understand how that happened. You're giving it to. Wait.
Are you at the school, Jen?
No, we don't. We are not affiliated with the school anymore.
Oh, so where are you?
We are independently run at Shreethand's house.
Oh, okay.
Shreethand's house. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Shreethand's name down. She said Shreethand.
I'm sorry.
Listen, you robots. You're lucky you have names.
You know how many Shreethands I know? I know a lot of shorthand. I'm sorry.
You know how lucky they are to be robots with names? They should just stop with the lip.
Oh, Bill, your jokes.
You go away and leave me and then come back and criticize.
There's so much.
Okay, so we're thinking 1 or 2 for Ben. What do you think? The first one and the second one?
Sure.
Let me look.
And you read?
What have you learned since starting with Dawson? And why can't I overtake someone that I'm faster than?
What are you doing?
Vic, why can't I overtake you? I'm just kidding.
Ah,
Well, first you have to try. That would be the first thing, Jen. You've never actually really tried.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
What's up? Look who we got.
Dawson, are you sick?
Yeah, I'm a little sick.
Oh,
A little sick?
Yeah. Haven't seen
Oh.
Jen in about 1,000 years. What's up? How are you?
I'm awake.
I hear you. Thanks for hanging out late again tonight, ladies.
Yeah.
I would say they've been listening and realized their value, but they haven't.
That's
I
cool.
heard the last one was a doozy.
Yeah, that's it. There's been a few doozies.
Yeah.
So, you want to just rock and roll, Ben, and get you out of here quick?
Yeah, there's a lot of background noise on somebody's.
Yeah, that's Jen.
Sorry, it's me.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't the only person hearing that.
No, it's Jen. Okay. All right. You good to go, Mr. Dawson?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Very well. Ben Dawson, guess what? They've been listening.
All right.
They're back.
Thank goodness.
Somebody's got to keep us in line. We have both Vicki and Jen this week. Who knew?
Hey.
Obviously, they are embarrassed by our output from the last few Dominating with Dawson. So
Yeah.
they're here to make sure that we steer ourselves a little better than we have.
Well,
Mhm.
it can only help at this point, yeah.
True. The bar can only go so low before you got to dig. So,
what are we talking about today? What do we got that we can talk about today? Now that we're all mostly gathered here.
well, since we're here with Miss Jen and Miss Vicki, no Jeremy, don't know where Jeremy is, but we're working on it. I thought we had a question that we've been dying to do, but we needed the whole group. So
Yeah, we say that a lot when we're picking topics when it's just you and me or something like that. We're like, let's save this one for when we have everybody together. Yeah.
Exactly. So one of those was, what have you, each of us, learned since we started Dominating with Dawson, the podcast?
Okay, who's first?
I think Miss Jen said she's got such a long list. She wants to go first.
All right.
Don't have a long list, but I will go first. So, I would say that one of the things that I guess one of my favorite episodes was when we talked about the front wheel drive versus the rear wheel drive, because I was able to use that. I was able to apply that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really good. That's what I learned from you, Ben Dawson. But I learned a lot. But
good.
that is the one thing that stands out for me.
That's
What-
great.
What made it
That'll
stand
help.
out, Jen?
Because I was able to actually use it. Because a lot of times, Ben Dawson's a great driver, and I don't have that level of skill, and I can't really apply things as much. So yeah, so that was very usable for me.
Good. That's good to hear. I hope that some of the topics I'm talking about, if I talk about one that a listener, it kind of goes over their head, I'm hoping it's something that will eventually make sense, and maybe folks would double back and check back in on something when they're unclear about it.
I definitely think they should double back and re-download. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because when you're paid the big bucks that we are per download,
Oh yeah.
$0 times each download. The more downloads we get, the more $0 we get.
But I'm sure the episodes are referenced in such a way that if you're a beginning track driver, a beginning racer, and you kind of heard something like, I think I've heard about that before, but it didn't make much sense to me at the time. And I'm ready to kind of loop back to it. Hopefully, I think our episodes are titled pretty well. I think people can go back and find stuff if they want to. Hopefully, they will.
I do. I know I have for sure. Miss Vicki, do you have anything you may have learned?
Yeah, I have two. One of them was learning that you're also, not only are you steering with your steering wheel, but you're also steering with your brake pedal. And maneuvering your car. That was really, really interesting, and attacking that on. And the other one was traffic control, still traffic control, and working out with Ben the idea of driving the opposite of the person in front of you to better negotiate a pass, setting up passing and setting up skills on passing. Those were very useful to me. Those were awakening moments for me, even though I'm still kind of working them out.
You got an aha?
Yeah.
They were ahas. And better to have somebody sort those things out, because we've had a lot of discussions over how to overtake a faster car when you're in, say, for instance, like a Miata. What are those skill sets that you need to maneuver traffic with a vehicle that is slightly lower power? And sometimes it's more the driving than it is the car.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, if you're driving your Miata faster than that, coming up on a car that should be faster than you still showed up because you're doing it faster. So you're right. You gotta have a different way to let folks know you're going to come back. You can't just blast by on the straightaway. So you're right. You're right. A lot of this stuff is about your car positioning and the body language that you present. But I mean, you can. I mean, even especially in endurance racing, but definitely with a DE setting. I mean, let people know what's about to happen. Put your car in, and put your car where you wish it was about to go, even if you don't necessarily think the pass is really going to happen that time. I'll go ahead and put my car out there like, hey, this is where I'm going to go when this happens. So even if you don't figure it out, this brake zone, you're going to figure it out. And I'm going to be out there and get by you. So I think you're right. I'm glad that was an awakening moment for you.
Yeah. It's the skill behind the steering wheel, sometimes more than the power of the car and the person you're racing against, because they might not have the skill to drive that car.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's some kind of unspoken skills about driving a race and are developing the right amount of assertiveness and when to deploy your assertiveness skills. You know what I mean? And your skills of being what do you call that? Kind of knowing what's going to happen, precognition, if you will, having a good idea about being intuitive about the way how things are likely to go. I think a part of it is kind of getting in that other driver's head and knowing, like, if I was in that car right now, here's what I'd be trying to do. So that way, that's another thing that I hope sinks in when we talk about the things you're talking about there.
You know what we just proved?
What's that?
That after over 400 episodes and close to 150 dominating with Dawson's, just guessing, we've actually helped people.
Whoa, crazy.
What about you, Bill? Have you had any takeaways?
Yeah, I've had tons. The biggest one, I mean, it depends on where you're at in your driving career and how you're progressing. But the biggest one that I see right now that applies is Ben's up until this point. Let's go back a little bit. Up until this point, I think myself and most of the team has been concerned with improving as a driver and getting better. And with that, you naturally get to be faster. And in some cases, from where we started to where we are way faster. But that doesn't mean we're good. It just means we were really slow when we first started. But I think listening to Ben, that would be a general, is his controlled aggression and when to apply it with wisdom. That has changed the way I approach driving and will approach driving this season, because, like I said, one of the goals for this year, which I think came out before this episode, but if not, I'm giving away one of the goals. These things get out of sequence so many times, was to not so much focus on being a better driver, but being a faster driver, and actually, to a point, caring what my times are, which I haven't till this point. So I think that was one of the things I'm trying to apply because you can get fast and you can be aggressive in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, totally.
Which is not the goal, because you don't want to be that girl or that guy. You want to do it in a way that is cooperative with everybody else, but yet a little bit assertive, but not overly so. So you're the nose chopper, or the the last of the great dive bombers from World War II.
It really is like the Kenny Rogers The Gambler song. I hate to just bust out the world's biggest cliche and apply it to what we're doing, but you got to kind of know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And it's like when do I want to pop out? Do I want to let this other player know what I'm about to do? Do I need to let this other player know what I'm about to do, or do I need to hide it from them? Is this the right time for me to pop out and assert myself, or is this a good time to wait and see how they do a couple more times? So all these sort of things depend on what's around you, what's happening in front of you and behind you. But I'm glad to hear that's sort of working out, and you're moving on into a little more of the racecraft phase of it. Other than the time trial lap phase is important, and getting all of the mechanics of your driving down to where they are mechanical is important. But that next step is where you really start having fun. When you can really start rolling hard on traffic, on endurance racing traffic, even if your car is not the fastest car in the field, if you're a pretty good driver, you're going to be rolling around most people most of the time. So it's a lot of fun when you kind of get to play at that level.
So now comes to this section of the podcast where I may or may not be editing this entire thing out. Ben Dawson, Ben Dawson, did you learn anything?
I was just about to ask, do I get to say that I learned anything?
Because I don't know that we've taught you anything, but maybe blabbing to us all this time and realizing like, oh, these idiots don't know this, and then putting it into words. Sometimes you learn.
I mean, not that you learn anything, but maybe did you get anything out of it?
Oh no, both. For me, I'm in a parenting phase right now where both my kids are kind of tiny, and I don't have a lot of time to be at the track or messing around with the race car I'm not building. So for me, one of the things I get out of this is staying connected to the racing community while I'm kind of in the time in my life where I'm a little busier than I used to be, and I'm not at the track as often as I'd like to be. So this is a fun way for me to stay connected, and it's fun to connect with people who have heard the show before, at the track, like, oh, are you that guy? So it's kind of weird and fun to meet people in person who know me from the show. Some guy messaged me the other day, like, are you Ben Dawson from Dominating with Dawson? I'm like, who else would it be? Like, but yeah,
you don't know too many Dawsons.
So that, and I've also had a chance to learn a lot of things that I didn't know, just because we were pretty thorough about kind of going through a lot of topics, and there's some that Bill will propose, and I said, well, I don't really know much about that, or I haven't ever spent much time concentrating on this jargon term or concept or a way of looking at doing something. But I'm happy to kind of go through it. So it's broadened my racing horizons and my understanding of a lot more of the terminology and thinking about things. Just like, it's definitely easy to be, a one man, one track kind of thing where you're like, I never think about this, I never do that. I'm pretty sure I walked in this podcast saying I never trail break, or I never think about it. And one of the things that being on the show and hearing talk about trail breaking so much, it's just as a specific example, is it's definitely put that concept more to the forefront of my mind when I'm driving. I do now think like, oh, I'm just going to trail off a little bit here. So I'm sure my car rotation has benefited from all the talk we've had. And for me, another thing that I've learned is I've learned to listen to my voice on the podcast and not hate it. I used to just not listen to these at all, and I would never listen to them.
Like,
yeah.
You're like, I'm never going to listen to any of these. It was quite fun.
I did, yeah. For a long time, I never did, but yeah, I even like to listen to these. And they come out. Sometimes I'll see a topic go by. I'm like, I didn't have much to say about that, so I won't listen to it. But, there's some that pop up in my feed, among all my like anarchist podcasts and true crime and shit that I'm listening to. I'm like, oh, I'm excited to hear this one because it was a fun conversation. So I have a lot of fun in that. It's more fun than I anticipated. And it's a great way for me to stay more connected than I have been able to the racing community. Because I haven't been in the car instructing anybody, which I used to do all the time before the pandemic. So it's been almost 3 years since I've been sitting in the car telling somebody how to do it.
Oh wow!
I miss that. This is a kind of a different way of instructing it. It's fun for me to get to talk about this stuff
a little bit. So we've proven, I think, with this episode, short as it is, that we've helped at least 4 people with Dominating with Dawson and the podcast.
That's plenty. That's plenty right there.
That's right. So it's not been a total waste, but just for fun, if people would write in on the Instagram or the Facebook or to garageheroesandtraining@gmail.com, and let us know what they've learned, if anything, from us. And you can write in and say absolute zero, but you guys are funny. I'm cool with that. Or
tape your note to a brick.
Exactly.
Let it find its way somewhere.
Exactly. Hopefully not our houses, but throw it through somebody's window. That's fine. And let us know if we've actually gotten you anything, or maybe helped a little bit. So that would be fantastic. And if not, and you're shy and don't want to elucidate us on the thousands of things you've learned through listening to the podcast, we understand. It's fine. So look at that. We did something, guys. 4 people.
All right. There we go.
Plus maybe 1 or 2 more. We'll see. Nice job, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Cool. Thanks.